Hello and welcome. If you want to learn how to stay healthy, both mentally and physically, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. It tells YouTube that you enjoy the content and helps our community grow.
There is a silent mechanism inside your body that decides exactly how long you have left to live. It is not checking your cholesterol levels. It is not counting how many steps you walked yesterday. It is measuring something much quieter, something you probably ignore every single day. Most men over 50 miss the warning signs completely. They think they're just getting older, slowing down, or becoming invisible. But the truth is much darker. People who ignore this specific signal often find their health collapsing years before it should. You might think you were doing fine because you eat well and take your medicine. But if you fail to do this one thing, your body begins to shut down from the inside out. This conversation is about the direct link between your social connections and your physical survival. Specifically, we're going to talk about the hidden health cues found in the way you interact with women and the world around you. You might think flirting or deep conversation is just a game for the young, but medically speaking, it is the fuel that keeps your brain firing and your heart beating in rhythm. We're going to walk through the subtle questions and moments that women offer you, not just as romantic gestures, but as opportunities to prove to your own biology that you are still alive. If you don't walk through these doors, they close, and your vitality fades with them. Stay with me until the very last second of this video, because I'm going to share a physiological trick at the end that changes how your brain processes aging, and you simply cannot afford to miss it. You have to understand that after 50, most men don't die from a lack of effort in the gym. They wither away from a lack of noticing. The source material for our lives is filled with moments where we can choose engagement or isolation. Isolation is inflammatory. When you walk away from a conversation thinking it was just small talk, while she walks away thinking you are dead inside, you have done actual damage to your nervous system. You didn't just miss a date, you signaled to your brain that you are no longer a participant in the tribe. And biologically, when a male mammal signals that he is no longer necessary for the tribe or for reproduction, nature has a very cruel way of accelerating his decline. Let's look at the first major test of your health and presence. It usually comes in the form of a simple question: how old are you really? When a woman asks this, she is not asking for a number to put on a medical chart. She is testing your cortisol levels. She is feeling out how comfortable you are in your own skin. If you flinch, if you make a joke about your bad back, or if you apologize for your years, you are flooding your system with stress hormones. You are telling her and yourself that your existence is a burden. That shame is toxic. It tightens your arteries. The men who thrive, the ones who live into their 90s with sharp minds, are the ones who treat their age like a badge of honor. They answer with a calm, slow energy that lowers their blood pressure on the spot. They say things like, "old enough to know what matters," and they mean it. That attitude is an immune booster. It tells your cells that you are safe, confident, and exactly where you need to be. Then comes the second question, the one that trips up so many men and sends them spiraling into bitterness. Why aren't you married? It sounds like judgment, but really, it is a check on your heart health. I don't mean your arteries, I mean your emotional capacity to handle stress. When you answer this with a bitter story about your ex-wife or a cynical laugh about how marriage is a trap, you are physically reactivating old trauma. You are dragging a heavy suitcase of past grievances into the present moment. Carrying that weight around destroys your sleep and spikes your inflammation. The healthy response, the one that signals vitality, is to show that you have processed your past. You say, "Life kept me busy, but I have space now." That answer is like a deep breath for your cardiovascular system. It shows you are not clogged up with the plaque of resentment. We're getting deep into the psychology of this now, and I want to pause for just a second. If you're realizing that maybe you have been shutting down these healthy connections without even knowing it, and you want to learn how to stay vital and relevant, do me a favor. Just gently tap that subscribe button and hit the like icon. It helps us get this message to other men who are sitting in silence right now, needing to hear that they aren't done yet. Thank you. It really makes a difference. Now, consider the question that many men make sweat. Do you date younger women? This is a test of your neuroplasticity. She is asking if you are rigid, are you stuck in a generational box, or can you connect with energy regardless of the birth year? A rigid brain is an aging brain. When you get defensive or start bragging about dating 20-year-olds to prove your virility, you're failing the test. You are acting out of insecurity, which is a weak energy state. The man who will live a long, healthy life answers by focusing on connection, not numbers. He says, I date by energy, not by age. That perspective keeps your mind flexible. It opens you up to new experiences, new conversations, and new ways of seeing the world. That openness is the primary defense against cognitive decline. If you shut yourself off from people just because they don't share your exact timeline, you are shrinking your world, and your brain shrinks right along with it. Then there is the question that sounds like small talk, but is actually a psychological screening. What kind of woman do you usually go for? If you rattle off a checklist of physical traits like you're ordering a sandwich, you're operating from a lower cognitive function. You're using the primitive, objectifying part of your brain rather than the emotional, relational part. The healthy man, the one with a robust spirit, answers with qualities that matter to the soul. He talks about curiosity, kindness, and laughter. This isn't just romantic advice, it is a sign of mental maturity. It shows you have evolved past the superficial and are looking for a connection that nourishes you. When you connect on that level, you release oxytocin, the bonding hormone that repairs heart tissue and lowers anxiety. Let's talk about the moment she smiles and asks, "Are you always this charming?" This is a dopamine trigger. She is offering you a natural high, a chemical reward for your presence. Most men deflect it. They look down, they mumble, they push the pleasure away. They deny themselves the medicine. When you deflect a compliment, you are telling your brain that you are not worthy of reward. Over time, this leads to a flat emotional state, a sort of gray depression that saps your energy. The healthy response is to lean into it, accept the dopamine, play with it. Say, only when I'm around someone who makes me feel like myself. That playful banter is a workout for your social muscles. It keeps your wit sharp and your mood elevated. It is literally an antidepressant that costs you nothing but a moment of courage. One of the most dangerous questions, if answered poorly, is, why don't you have a girlfriend? This is the isolation test. She is asking if you have locked your doors. Men who answer this by saying, I like my freedom, or relationships are too much drama, are often masking a deep fear of intimacy. And that fear is a chronic stressor. It keeps you in a state of fight or flight, always guarding your perimeter, never letting anyone in. Living in that defensive crouch wears out your adrenal glands. It exhausts you. The man who wants to live long understands that humans are pack animals. We need to be touched, seen, and known. The healthy answer is vulnerability. It is saying, I have been waiting for something real. That admission relaxes your entire nervous system. It takes down the walls and allows you to breathe. Finally, we come to the bravest question she will ask. Would you ever date someone like me? This is the moment of truth. This is where you decide if you are going to participate in life or just watch it go by. A lot of men freeze here. The fear of rejection or the fear of getting it wrong paralyzes them. But freezing is a death response. It is playing possum. To stay healthy, you must remain an active agent in your own life. You must look her in the eye and say, I would be lucky if I could. That simple sentence requires you to be fully present. It requires you to risk something. And that risk, that little spike of adrenaline followed by the warmth of connection, is what tells your body that you are still in the game. It is the opposite of the slow fade that takes so many seniors. You have to remember that your body is listening to every conversation you have. It is watching your posture. It feels when you lean in and when you pull away. When a woman gives you a nonverbal clue like holding your gaze a little longer or touching your arm, that is a biological invitation. Physical touch, even a hand on a shoulder, reduces physical pain and lowers heart rate. It is a natural painkiller. If you are too checked out to notice these signals, you are depriving yourself of free therapy. You are starving your skin of the hunger it has to be touched. The men who notice these things, the ones who see the tilt of a head or the dilation of pupils, are the men who are mentally sharp. They are observant. They are hunting for connection, and that hunter mentality keeps the senses acute and the mind clear. So, your assignment for your health is not just to eat your vegetables or walk around the block. It is to notice. Stop looking for the perfect line to say and start looking for the life in front of you. Look at her breathing. Look at the way she stands. When you are truly present with another human being, you are not just being polite. You are synchronizing your biology with theirs. You are exchanging energy. And for a man over 50, that energy is life support. It is what keeps the lights on in the house. As we come to the end, I want you to reflect on the last few conversations you had. Did you rush through them? Did you deflect the questions that mattered? Did you choose safety over connection? It's okay if you did. We all do it. But now you know the cost. You know that every time you close a door, you make your world a little smaller and your body a little frailer. The next time a woman asks you a question that feels a little too personal, a little too curious, don't back away. Lean in. Treat it like the lifeline it is. And here's that interesting fact I promised you at the beginning. Did you know that holding hands with someone you trust actually causes your brain to process pain differently? In MRI scans, when people receive a mild electric shock while holding hands with a partner, the part of the brain that processes pain is significantly less active than when they are alone. Think about that. Connection literally numbs the existence of existence.
It acts as a shield for your nervous system. So when you are flirting, when you are connecting, when you are answering those quiet questions honestly, you are not just getting a date. You are building a shield that will protect your health for years to come.